Hey, it's Jones Loflin, helping you make the best choices with your time so you can thrive. I often get asked, what are the best routines that I can start to have a more productive day, to get more done? And while I think it really depends on the situation and how much control you have over your day, here are 3 universal routines that I find help me and help most people be more productive with their time. Number 1, plan the night before for the next day. When you do that, first of all, it frees up your mental resources to really enjoy your evening, whether it's with your family or whether it's just time for yourself. If you're holding all those things from the end of the day until the next morning, you can't be fully present with yourself or others. It also helps you to make sure that you're starting that next morning ready to execute on tasks versus going, what do I need to work on today? So that's number 1. Number 2, complete a difficult task by 9 a.m. Complete a difficult task by 9 a.m. This tactic was made popular in that amazing book, Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. The reason I think it's so important is that if you don't tackle that difficult task early, it's hanging over your head all day or until at least you start working on it. So by tackling that difficult task early, you get it out of the way and you have a greater sense of accomplishment to take on the other activities that you've got to do that day. Number 3, I need a prop for this one. Number 3 is to put the information from each day into one of 4 buckets. We're all suffering from information overload these days. There's just always information coming at us. And if you're like me, sometimes you can get so caught up in the swirl, you forget what you're supposed to be working on. A tactic that was taught to me by my great friend and Juggling Elephants co-author, Todd Music, was that information needs to go in one of 4 buckets. So anytime I read an email or see information, I say, okay, it needs to go in one of these 4 places. It either becomes a note, and I gotta have a trusted source for where to put that note, okay? Secondly, it can become a task, okay? So if it's a task, I've gotta have a place to put it. So maybe I drop it into my task list and then I'm ready to look at it the night before to plan where it goes the next day or into my week. Third, that piece of information might become a contact, or I need to update a contact that I have in my contacts list. So maybe that's what I do with it. Or number 4, that piece of information becomes a meeting I need to set or information I need to add to an already existing meeting. I got to tell you, it's revolutionized my information overload by stopping to say, which one of the 4 buckets does this information go in? This is Jones Loflin. I hope it's a week where you make better choices with your time by starting maybe one of these 3 routines. Thanks for spending a few minutes with me today in the Jones Zone.